Welcome to the University of Iowa Neuromarketing channel. My name is Ryan Crockett, and today I'm going to explain advanced graphing in SPSS. In this video, we're going to be covering the SPSS graphing template tool and using three different types of advanced graphs. These are going to be useful techniques when you want to effectively visualize and interpret your data. Focus in this video is going to be in the Graphs tab. So we're going to go up to Graphs, go to the Template Chooser. So you'll see four different options here. Basic is where you can select different variables, and whichever SPSS feels is the most applicable to what you're trying to analyze, it will select one for you. In this case, we're going to do detailed because we know what we want to do. So our first graph, I'm going to do a heat map. So I'll find heat map, there it is. In our columns, we're going to do income category in thousands. Rows, we're going to do years with current employer. And then for color, we're going to do age in years. So after that, we're going to go ahead and click OK. Sometimes these graphs take a little bit to produce in SPSS. So here's our heat map. The longer they work with the employer, the higher up they'll be. And then over here is going to be the survey respondents with a higher income category. So here we have the highest income earning survey respondents, and then with the years of the current employer, they're also above 15 years. And then the different colors on the heat map show how old they are. So this would be probably in the 30s and 25s. And then this bright red color would be the older ones. And then this is going to be more middle-aged in relation to our data, so that'll be around 45 and 50. A heat map here isn't the most intelligent graph to use. However, it is nice to know that it exists. In some other situations, you could use locations or fluctuations in stock prices. So now we'll go back to our data, and the next graph we're going to do is a scatter plot. So we're going to go back up to the graphs, the template chooser again, and go back into detailed. So for this, we're not going to do just a scatter plot. We're going to do a scatter plot matrix. So find that. There we are. This is extremely useful for when we're trying to show correlations between multiple variables. So for a scatter plot matrix, we're going to want to use all scale variables. So we'll knock down all these. And what we're going to use is going to be household income, the scale. We're going to use years with current employer, scale. And we'll also put in the price of the primary vehicle. In addition to this, we can add a color aesthetic to it, so we will. We're going to do it age in years. So after that, we'll go ahead and click OK. Alright, may want to make the output a little bit larger here so we can see them all at once. Using this graph, it makes an image of all of the data, and it also makes it significantly easier to interpret. Statistics aren't always clear-cut for everyone, so it does help to have a visual representation. So if we just look at the data and think about it, when you see this correlation here between household income and primary vehicle, this is normally a red flag when you see something that either means you made an error in your data inputting, or this is something you need to pay attention to very heavily. In addition to having all of these relating to each other, we also have the age in terms of the color. So you can just kind of see the more vivid or dark green it is, the older they are. So here, this person's probably around 65, and this person's probably around 50. So next, we're going to do a 3D area, which will be the final graph I'll show you in this video. These 3D area graphs are useful because you can use scale and ordinal measures, as opposed to the scatter plot where you could only use scale. Now we're going to go and find the 3D area. Should be at the top. This is the one we want here. So for our variables, we'll do job satisfaction on the x-axis. We'll do years with the employer on the y. And then for Z, we will do income category in thousands. For a color, we will just do the count. Now you can change the summary. In this case, mean probably makes the most sense, but you could do sum, min, or max if you feel that's more necessary. So we'll just hit OK. And here we have our 3D area graph. This is pretty good for visual representation. One issue we do have is that the 75,000 is on the closest side to us, so it blocks probably about 50% of the data in the graph. While you could use a different graph to try to eliminate this, another thing you could do is reverse the variables via syntax, which I actually have another video on specifically for this purpose. Using this would make the 75 income move over here and the under 25 move over there, and these two switch as well. So it'll just reverse the scale. And doing that would move all of these in a more organized manner so you can see all of them and nothing's blocked. So if you are interested in reversing the variables and learning how to do that, you can check out my other video. I will leave a link for it at the closing. So you can click on the link for the reversing variables video here if you were interested from before. If not, as always, thank you for watching this tutorial from the University of Iowa Neuromarketing channel. And for more tutorials, subscribe to our channel.